Hello everyone. Today we're gonna be playing some Amulet, like we often do. But today I wanted to try something new. A while ago there was a list that Daryl Ayers 5-0'd with, which had a very heavy white splash for sideboard cards mostly. So instead of having all of our red sideboard cards, what we're playing instead is white sideboard cards. So of course, cards like Fire Spout and Coastal X Return are pretty strong, but Wrath of God and Day of Judgment are stronger. Rest in Peace is definitely, like, hands down the single best graveyard hate card, basically ever. Then we have Path to Exile instead of either Dismember or Abrade. And what I think is the strongest pull towards a white splash is Stony Silence. Right now, Stony Silence is extremely strong. It's really good against KCI, obviously. It's also very good against the Hardened Scales deck, and you know, it has a bunch of uses. Well, Affinity, of course, Tron. All of those decks have a very hard time against Stony Silence. So this is what I think is probably like the strongest reason to want to play white over or red sideboard cards. And there's no card that is as impactful as this in red color, right? So the other card, which is kind of meh, that I'm trying out, is Dragon Lord Dromoka. To be fair, I'm not sure about this card. We'll see how it goes. But in my experience, it gets very easily dealt with. So it's like a 6-mana 5/7 that, yes, it feels like it should be very strong, but so far the only cool thing I got to do, which I thought was cool, was I already had a Strayer Stronghold in play, and my opponent had a Teferi on 7 loyalty. So I basically played a Dragon Lord Dromoka, which they could not counter, and also they couldn't interact with on my turn. And I hasted it, and I swung for 7 and killed the Teferi. So that was cool, but that was like the only thing that I remember that I ever did with a Dromoka that was like, okay, this is cool, and this is something that I could have only done with this card and no other card. Maybe Carnage Tyrant is better for the control matchup, or maybe it's something as simple as more Tireless Truckers. We'll see. Of course, this is kind of taking the slot of what would be in classic lists. You will see an Obstinate Bailoff. So this is kind of taking the slot of that Obstinate Bailoff right there. Also, you will see no Rurik Thar. So I would expect my Storm matchup to be much worse. I guess I have Rest in Peace to kind of compensate. Also Path to Exile. And thank you, Cancarlo, for the follow. I appreciate it. So I expect that maybe, you know, Rest in Peace and Path to Exile kind of do something about that, but I'm honestly not sure. I think that our Storm matchup is probably gonna be Host of Errons doesn't solve any problems, basically. That's how I feel. Yeah, so Host of Errons is, that's the only issue that it has. Supreme Verdict, the only reason and the only matchup that I could see Supreme Verdict being better than these two guys is exactly Bant Spirits. There's no other matchup where I would want Supreme Verdict, and even then, I'm already struggling with white sources. Okay, I have 11 white sources without counting Vesuva, of course, and I'm even considering right now that maybe this should be a Razorbed thicket. This card. Maybe either this or a second Horizon Canopy. Um, I am very skeptical about going under 3 basics, so that's why I'm doing this, and I kind of want to see how it plays out before I start making changes like that. I guess I could also like side out the Ghost Quarter, but I just think Ghost Quarter is such an important card in this deck. I was even considering just running 29 lands and playing the White Source instead of the Tracker. We'll see. I just want to try it out through a league and then see what happens. The thing with Supreme Verdict is that, again, it's only better against specifically Bant Spirits, because there's no other deck that I'm concerned about resolving a Wrath, where my stuff might get counter. I guess in Merfolk, but nobody plays Merfolk because Merfolk is just a bad deck. I mean, it's not a bad deck, it's just worse humans. So, people who want to win, I guess they would play humans instead of Merfolk, because it's just a way superior deck. The only thing is, I'm of course doing the split because of Meddling Mage, right? But yeah, already having double white might be a struggle. So we'll see how things work out. But yeah, so I wanna try it through a league and see what happens. Yep, this is the one. Alright, let's get going. Let's cast some 6/6 Squadron Hawks. Let's cast some 6/6 Squadron Hawks. I think the list looks pretty sweet. I'm very intrigued by some of the cards, though. Maybe Day of Judgment is just too greedy. Day of Judgment and Wrath of God, I mean. Maybe I just need more white sources. We'll see. No Gruul Turf, because I really want to be... I really want to be casting my white spells. Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Slow hand, double steerings, solid interaction, and a threat. Okay. Horizon Canopy. So we're playing against humans. Sanctuary seems like the way to go here. This is nice. This is an Azusa. A slow Azusa, I guess, but an Azusa nonetheless. Squirmit. Yeah, I love me some Rurik too. I'm not gonna lie. I think Rurik's freaking great. Wow. All right, so we're under the gun already. Actually, I made a mistake. I should have. Yep. Now I found an amulet, and I'm very sad. I sequenced my lands wrong. I should have started with steerings, and then if I find an amulet, I can play it off the gemstone. Next turn, I can play Azusa. So basically, this guy is never gonna be stopping anything that's not a 3/3 Geist. Maybe a 4/4 Geist down the road. So this is chomping right here. Okay, Spell Queller is annoying. The good thing is I can do this. And this baits out the Spell Queller. Yep. You got my ballista. Now I have my amulet. They have another one. Because they have another spell queller. No. Nice. Okay. Let's think. So I can pack for Azusa. But I am more interested in playing explosives for 3. So if I play Azusa, okay, I play Azusa, I do my first land drop, I do 1, 2, 3, I have 2 untapped lands, and I bounce the Gemstone Mine. I packed for Azusa, I play the Azusa. My opponent, I play another Sanctuary, my opponent paths the Azusa. And yeah, so I think I can actually do this. I'm gonna add red mana. Do this. Bounce this. I know. We get Ballista back. It's gonna be great. Bounce this. Cast Summoner's Pact. For Azusa. Cast Azusa. I'm not gonna play around main deck Unified Will. Play Gemstone. Play Celestial Sanctuary. Now even if my opponent does not pass this. One, 2, 3. This cost me my Azusa, which kinda sucks, but it is what it is. I'm gonna die otherwise. So yeah. I'd rather not die. Maybe there was some way that I could have... Oh, they have company? Crap. Crossroads would have been nice there. Alright, that's pretty good for me. The bad part is that I basically ran out of... ways to interact with my opponent right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is not bad. That nets me some mana. Bounce this. Play Azusa. Play this. Prime time. So I can get Crossroads to gain some life, and I can get Simic Growth. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I can even get Vesu. Nah, gonna get semi-growth here. And I guess I'm gonna bounce the white source. Play a second Titan. So my opponent did not have another Lord. My opponent did not have another Lord, so I think I want to go get... I think I'd want to go get a blue pact here. Because what they have in play does not kill me. And of course, I'm playing around Path to Exile here, right? I'm very, very hardly playing around Path to Exile. All right. Which they did have. Look at that. Would you look at that? They did have the path. No second path though. I feel so smart. I feel so smart. So here I'm only countering something that kills me. That kills me. So we're countering that. So they swing for 4. Okay. Might as well play the second amulet. They have another path. Wow, they do have another path? Wow. Alright, so I just died. I mean, I guess I'm still not exactly dead. Jeez. Okay, now I am exactly dead. Alright, that was rough. And it's pretty funny that I said there's only there's only a single matchup where I would like to have Supreme Verdicts instead of Wrath, and it's exactly the one we're playing against right now. Alright, paths are coming in, bog coming out, we can shade one pact. How do we feel about Dromoka? Oh, I definitely want some Hornet Queen action. Definitely want Rex Sage. Rex Sage is gonna be there mostly for Damping Sphere. Dragon Nose seems like a little bit too much. Shape 1 Titan for the Hornet Queen. Multiple explosives. We got Ballista. Can probably side out some Explorers. Let's try this. Yeah, but it gets path just the same and it doesn't give me any value. How about this hand though? I think I'll keep. Start with the good old Cavern on Snake. I guess Shaman would be the correct one. Backward 2. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're trying some white amulet today. We'll see. We'll see. I think the list looks okay, but it's one of those things that, you know, we'll see how it plays out. Semi-growth is probably the best thing I can do here. Next turn I can transmute. Awkwardly enough, Rex Sage would be kind of the nuts right now. Speaking of Rex Sage being kind of the nuts. Alright. Flushing the Tolaria. So the question here is, do I want to transmute with Tolaria? I think I'm more interested in resolving these explosives on 2 before my opponent is able to do anything about it. This has to be my #1 priority right now, I think. I can transmute next turn if I want to. And I'm gonna do this right now, so my opponent cannot do any like stupid shenanigans and like blow up my explosives in response somehow or something like that. I was a little bit skeptical about my opponent's list running like both Aetherbile and what's his name? Aetherbile and Collect Company, but I mean, it's kind of working out perfectly for them. They still have 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can Hornet Queen next turn. I think I made a slight mistake. I should have probably led on playing the semi-growth per turn. I'm trying to set up Hornet Queen for next turn, as well as I can go get Summoner's Pact right here. So I'm going to actually, yeah, I'm gonna bounce this. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have exactly 7 mana for Hornet Queen. Which seems pretty good. Expect my opponent to pact here. To pact to company, I mean. Can activate in response in case my opponent finds the Sage off of this and then they have a Phantasmal Image in hand. Alright. Because I blow it up with the onboard explosives. That's how I cast the Queen next turn. They do have the image. Yep. Alright, so this insect is gonna do some work. You're good, overrated, you're good. So I take 9 here. Potentially some more. Nope, looks like just 9. And I'm trading 1 for 1. But now I can drop the... I can drop the Queen of the Hornets. Actually... Play lands. Green, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uncounterable Hornet Queen, no big deal. We'll see if whether this stabilizes or they have another queen, another Phantasmal Image. A second Phantasmal Image would be very annoying. Supreme Phantom is fine though. They have the company too? Oh no, they have a Queller. Wow, that's an aggro Queller right there. Do they have a sweeper? Does Spirits play any sweeper? Like one-sided sweeper, I guess. So they just have a single card in hand. And they cannot get through my defenses. I'm definitely countering the stupid dude, what's his name? The indestructible guy. Can't remember the name. Selfless Spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I should be able to pay for both pacts. How about this guy now? Alright. The queen is doing some work here. Holding the fort. What I think I want to do is I want to set up a double striking titan for next turn. So my opponent needs to dump a bunch of things under the bus. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I definitely want to play around the potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I definitely want to play around the potential damping sphere. Oh, I can counter the damping sphere, so that's fine. So Bodos Garrison and what? Can do Bodos Garrison and Simic and Celestian Sanctuary. So I have white sources in case I draw a Wrath, and I'm interested in doing that. We're gonna bounce the Tolaria. And I guess we're gonna bounce... Oh, I made a mistake. Or I'm still okay, I guess. Because alternatively, what I can do is I can just... Giant. I can transmute for another explosives. Is that something I could be interested in? I think I just want more prime times. More titans of the primeval variety. Explosives on 3 is looking pretty damn good though. Yeah, another prime time. Keep the chain going. Keep the chain going. Path my prime time. You got it. So that explains what they're why they were not doing anything. Yep. We're looking real good now. Looking real good. Daddy's home. And he's drunk. Yeah, Upgrade is an excellent card right now, but there's like enough answers to upgrade in this list. Sure, extra blue sources. Still hanging out here, just with a pact in our hand. I am liking our chances. All I'm gonna say is I'm liking our chances, especially with my opponent being very adamant about drawing about drawing lands. That's also an option. So this doesn't do anything, because my opponent has multiple dudes in play. So why don't I just kill all of said dudes? Seems like a good thing to be doing. Engineered explosives. 1, 2, 3. Done. Now prime time can swing comfortably. And this should finish the game. Get Sanctuary and Sunhome. Depending on how they block, I can blow them out in different ways. Just take the 6. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. And I think if my opponent were to like play a Phantasmal Image, I think I just path my own Hornet Queen. This is the beautiful thing about explosives, is that you just play it and then you just wait. You just play out your explosives and then you just wait. And eventually it's gonna be awesome, but you're never in any rush to do anything about it. No, we're not on Iona. Iona is just not a good card in the modern format. I don't think there's any deck that's reasonable in modern that care about Iona. Burn, I guess, but Burn is siding in paths against us anyway, so it's just not even that good anyway. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what deck I would want Iona against. Do I want second Rex Sage? Now my opponent showed me Vile. Maybe that's enough of a reason for me to want Rex Sage, because it can be it's more flexible. All right. Keep. Yes, this is gonna be one of the truth hands to really show off whether the white splash is worth it. Having Path as well is pretty sweet. It allows us to play around Spell Queller. Start with Steerings. Guess I'll take this Sanctuary. because I want more white sources. Damping Sphere is kind of a beating, not gonna lie. That guy's fine though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I just ballisted this guy out of existence. I want to be using my cards, and man, this canopy is beating me down. Just deal with the spirit, keep my life total high. Work towards setting up that day of judgment. Sick draw, by the way. Human. Canopy is being very painful this game though. Threat late game with Titan on board, you can get trigger, you copy your opponent's creature if needed to block or stall. I don't think I would ever want to play. Oh, that's right, Spell Queller gets around this. My bad. My bad. That's fine. I can still path the Queller. I don't think Phantasmal Image is a card that should be playing this deck, to be honest with you. We are not really into the business of having cards that we can cast that do nothing on some board states. I really don't want to lose this land. So if my opponent has another Spell Queller, I'm just dead on board if I cast this Azusa. I cannot cast the Wrath. What are my options? So if I path the Queller, and it resolves, I cast my Azusa and I keep moving on with my life. If my opponent's last card is another Spell Queller, or actually if my opponent's last card is the 3-mana Lord, I also get wrecked. But how can I play around that? If I cast the Azusa instead, if my opponent has a Lord, it doesn't change anything, but I get behind a couple of land drops. So what's better for me? Also, if I cast the Azusa, that means I don't have enough mana to like Path and Wrath on the same turn. Huh. What could my opponent's last card be? They only have a single card. So if their other card is Spell Queller, the best thing I can do is to not do anything, to just pass the turn. If my opponent's last card is, it cannot be Phantasmal Image, it has to be exactly Spell Queller, or it has to be the Drogskull Captain. If it's either of those, which is 7 possible cards, because there's already one Queller in play, then the best thing I can do is just like play my Celestial Sanctuary and pass the turn. The thing is, if I do that, then this path is going to be dead next turn because I will not have access to life. This Canopy has been beating me down. So alternatively, I can play my Celestia Sanctuary. Play my Celestia Sanctuary. Bounce the Gemstone. Let's say my opponent's card is a blank. I think the best thing I can do is I can path the Selfless Spirit, play my land, path the Selfless Spirit, bounce the Gemstone. My next turn I untap and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm gonna go for that. And I'm probably gonna be pathing the Selfless Spirit on upkeep. They move the counters. Cool. Path Selfless Spirit. You got it? Yay. Alright, so not dead this turn. And if we manage to untap, we get to wrath them, which should be nice. If it resolves, of course. Yeah, no, I couldn't even cast the Wrath even if I wanted to, right? So play Gemstone, white, colorless, green, white, Wrath, resolves. Wow, sick. Cast a Sousa. And I'm going to play Vesula Copying Cavern, naming Giant. So this doesn't use the stack. So this one doesn't use the stack, so that's fine. And now I'm going to play my second land drop as the Simic Growth, bouncing the other cavern. So next turn I think I'm pacting for Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I'm pacting for Queen next turn. Resolve, please. Collected Company. No Queller, no Queller. Nice. Hornet Queen. Insect. And I can pay for Pact even through... Okay. Even if my opponent plays... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should buy me quite a bit of time. Another company. Wow. My opponent cannot catch a break over there. If they swing, I am blocking with the queen first. Because I want to kill her, basically. Swing with Geist. Swing with Geist. Okay. Alright, this is cool. Now we get to pay for our pact. I think we're in a reasonable spot here. I think we're in a reasonable spot. We just need to draw a prime time or another pact and we should be golden. Pay for pact. guess the queen is serving. If my opponent wants to trade with any of their threats, I'm very happy. And if they don't, then they just take some damage. They're at 7, by the way. Cycle Canopy. This is actually a nice draw. So now they need to chump the queen. I think I can swing with this. We're low on clock. I think we're gonna be able to finish the game, but yeah, I'm double striking. This basically forces them to kill the queen, I guess. Or not. Go down to 2. So this chumps here. This blocks here, this blocks here, this blocks the angel. And I don't take anything. Even if they had played like 1 or 2 dudes, I would have still been fine. Actually, this is very interesting. I think I'm gonna chump with the Asus and I'm gonna take 4. If I do that, each one of these is lethal, right? Every single one of these is lethal. So my opponent would need to have, they would have 2 blockers, block 1, block 2, block 1, block 2, and then they would have to at least have 2 more blockers and a path to not die. We'll see what we draw, but we even have the Wrath as backup, so we're not dead on board. Also, we can cycle Canopy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lands. Very interesting game. Very interesting game. I think we are ahead. I think it's pretty likely that we get there. Still not over though. Still not over. But yeah, it looks like end of turn I'm gonna cycle Canopy. I mean, I just cannot really afford to keep taking damage from this thing. I wonder what my opponent is tanking so much about. I mean, his abilities are on the stack. There's not much he can do. Give them a friendly question mark. Three cards in hand. What can those cards be? None of them is Phantasmal Image. That part we know. None of them is Phantasmal Image. They might have Spell Queller. They might have a second Geist, and that's the reason why they are attacking with the Geist. That actually sounds reasonable. For them to have a second Geist in hand. I think my blocks are, again, I think my blocks are going to be Azusa, Champion the Geist, and that's it. I won't block the Angel token, and then I will do an all-out attack. Although that plays pretty badly into my opponent's collective company. And if my opponent companies exactly into Selfless Spirit plus Phantasmal Image, that would be trouble. But again, at this point I am pretty convinced that my opponent has at least another Geist in hand. Oh, I forgot to cycle Canopy. That was just stupid. Going for the throat here. My opponent needs to do something. Yeah, as is, they're dead. Sweet. Got there. Hornet Queen, man. It's pretty good. 1-0. Yep. Pretty good hand. Pretty good hand that we probably will die without ever seeing a threat, but it's fine. After all this time playing Amulet, I have found my peace. Turn 1 Lava Spike. So here are the options. Option number 1, play Scout, dies to Searing Blaze. Alright, so that of course is bad. But if my opponent Searing Blazes me, that means they are not Eidoloning me. So I think I'm gonna go for that, because I don't want to face an Eidolon yet. If my opponent plays an Eidolon, then they got me. Damn it. Damn it. Alright. So what do I care about more? I think I care more about the Amulet than the Azusa. I think the Scout's gonna be doing most of the ramping. If this Scout dies, maybe I play Azusa next turn. Maybe. We'll see. Yep. Block here, thank you very much. Block here. You're in damage step, bro. Oh, okay. Guess they knew they were in damage step. Let's do some of this. Get some more value from these lands. My dude dies. Prime time. This is the worst feeling in the world. When you're facing an Eidolon and you draw an Explorer, it's just, it feels so bad. Would I rather have... I think I'd rather dig one card deeper than to play the Azusa. Considering that I already have another champ blocker. Bingo. Bingo. Okay. Now what? I still have one land drop. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, sweet! Now we have Kavira Crossroads, so I can actually gain 2 and haste the Titan if I leave this red mana floating. This is kind of sick. I love that. I'm not taking 2 from the Azusa, by the way. I'm not casting this. If my opponent wants to use their turn to Searing Blaze, that means I take 5, and then next turn I gain 4. And that also means that they tap out during their main phase, which I'm also quite happy about. Block here. But more importantly, I get to 16 my opponent while gaining life. Sweet. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. And I have to be very careful to leave the red mana floating. Bounce the bog. 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow, this actually kind of worked out beautifully here. So I can go get the Slayer Stronghold and I can get Kavira Crossroads. So I gain 2 and I get to haste the prime time. Seems like pretty good value. I guess if my opponent has double bolt, that means that my prime time dies. But on the plus side, that means that that's quite a bit of damage that's not going towards me. Also, if my opponent skull cracks here, they just die. So that's also good for me. Oh no, they don't. My bad. Do they have double Searing Blaze? If they have double Searing Blaze, that would be absolutely gross. Oh, skull crack is fine. Okay, that means my prime time doesn't die. So that's cool. Serve. Yes. I cannot transmute this turn. I'm at 7 anyway. So I guess Stellaria plus Vesuva. So if my opponent has like Searing Blaze, okay, and they kill my prime time, then I die to the Eidolon attack, so I need to Vesuva copy Colony Garden. Yeah. At this point I'm playing around the impossible, but oh, actually my opponent cannot my opponent cannot kill me anymore because they would die in response to the Eidolon trigger. This is great. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. That makes things even better. Alright, Dragon Lord Dromoka. Alright, our burn matchup is actually much worse now than it used to be. The good thing about the Wraths, though, is that both of these Wraths don't trigger Eidolon. So in that sense, these Wraths are better than the other Wraths, but still seems pretty not great. I think I probably want the Paths. Yeah, the Wrath seems like too much. Whoops. This is what I want to do. I always like to keep my Pact of Negation in because my opponents usually bring in Deflecting Palm. So this makes sure that I don't die to Deflecting Palm. Spell Pierce can be reasonable sometimes. I'm personally not the biggest fan. Okay. Just the one Wrath. I guess Wrath of God is strictly better. Yep. Let's go. Let's try this. Then we can move things around if we want to. Alright. Same deal as before. Same deal as before, except this is post-board, so I am extra incentivized to lead on Tribe Scout instead of leading on Amulet. Turn 1, tap Sacred Foundry. That is interesting. Let's call it interesting. In fact, this makes me want to hold off of this Amulet for as long as humanly possible. Because the chances of my opponent having a hand with like more than a single destructive reverie are pretty high. Serum Blaze. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's keep it going. Also, by doing this, I'm playing around Molten Rain. I haven't seen Molten Rain in a bit, but some people sometimes still play Molten Rain, so... My opponent went turn 1 pass. So the chances of Molten Rain, I would say, are pretty high. Sweet. So my opponent is giving me a lot of time. Again, I suspect Molten Rain, so I'm holding off of this Celestial Sanctuary. I could also play the Amulet, but I don't really have any incentive to. Still at 17. If I find Kavira Crossroads, that would make me play the Celestial Sanctuary, basically. My opponent's smart. They went face with the Helix. Definitely the correct play. Killing Azusa is not good EV for them. All right. Amulet. Play Terraria. What are you going to say about this? Nothing. So I am exactly 1 mana short of transmuting this turn. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. All right. Scurtis, oh, thank you. Thanks for the subscription. That's awesome. Thanks. Make sure you spam those primetime emotes all over the place. There we go. Make sure you spam them hard. Swing with Azusa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we really need a bounce land. Basically, bounce land wins the game next turn. Boros Charm down to 10. Reverie kill the Amulet. No. Okay, so my opponent looks to not be playing the color green. Can you kill me, opponent? Cannot kill me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Kinda sucks to ditch Gemstone Mine, but it is what it is. And here I'm definitely getting Crossroads plus what? I could do Crossroads plus Canopy, that's not a bad one. Maybe Crossroads plus Bounce Land is better. Can I gain 2, please? Sweet. Can I get 2 more? Gain 2 more, please? Sweet. 7 for 1. So my opponent, now I'm putting my opponent like over 90% on Deflecting Palm. Like the chances of my opponent having Deflecting Palm now are just like absolutely massive. They just didn't do anything last turn. They did not kill me. They did not destroy my lands. So the chances of my opponent having the stupid thing are just incredibly high. They also shocked, and they didn't. They only played a single burn spell last turn. So yeah, this is definitely my opponent having Deflecting Palm. No questions. It's a good draw. It's a pretty good draw. So I could serve. I could attack, my opponent Deflecting Palms, and I die. So I think I'm gonna be on the same holding pattern. And next turn I can actually prime time. And I can hold up Pact of Negation, and I can attack safely. So I think this is the correct play. I know it looks weird, but look at that. My opponent has 4 open mana, and they have declined to do anything for the past 2 turns. Sure, you got a Goblin Guide. What? They do have red. It's pretty good. Now their Amulet makes it so I can play multiple prime times here. Yes. I can make more mana if I want to. Do I want to make more mana? I can make insane amounts of mana here. I can make 12 more mana. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to play 1 prime time, which is the one I already played. And I'm trying to play around potentially multiple Deflecting Palms. So I can go get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 mana, so that would mean 4 to pay for for the green pact I just used. 4 to play and to pay for another green pact, that would be 8. But I could get a 3rd Titan and haste that Titan. My opponent Deflecting Palms one of those Titans, and I die. unless I can play Caveira Crossroads. So what I can do is go get my blue pact right now. So I'm not gonna get multiple prime times. At this point, my opponent, if they could not deal with this one, they are not gonna be able to deal with the other ones either. So I'm going to get a Pact of Negation for extra protection. I am going to, I guess, cast a Reclamation Sage, because might as well. Target this, but not use the ability, of course. No. Swing. And I'm going to get... yes. Here I can get Vesuva to copy the Crossroads, and a bounce land, probably an extra blue one, so I can pay for other for the pact even through a Molten Rain. Yeah, my opponent just backs it in. All right, so I guess I was just playing around too much stuff. Yeah, that's why I because of the pact, the deflecting palm, it's precisely why I was making a super weird, like, I was trying to figure out if there was any way I could like haste multiple titans and still be able to transmute for pact, but there's no way I could do it because I just didn't have enough Tularia Wests, and also the idea was for me to play around palm and to play around Skullcrack as well if possible. So the cool thing is that the way Skullcrack and Deflecting Palm work is, if you guys check it out. So, Deflecting Palm says that the next time a source would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. Alright, if damage prevented this way, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to that source's controller. So, if we have Skullcrack too, it's a little bit weird. It's definitely not a combo. Definitely not a combo. Why is it not showing up? There we go. Players can't gain life and damage cannot be prevented. So if there's a Skullcrack cast, then the palm doesn't do anything. Also, they cannot do it in response, because even if they play the palm first, that's like a kind of like a delayed trigger or an effect. I don't know what the name of the thing is, but it's an effect that basically goes there. Okay, so before that resolves, if they Skullcrack, it basically nullifies the pact that was cast earlier. And so by gaining some life with the Caveira Crossroads, I am forcing my opponent so that if they do have a Skullcrack, they are forced to play in response, in which case they cannot both Skullcrack and palm. So they can do either or. And I think I'm gonna refill my water if you guys don't mind. Actually, sorry about that. I will be right back. I will go refill my water and I will go to the bathroom and I will come back. Okay, now we're ready to rock and roll. So far the list has been okay. The good part is I have not. I mean, these are some famous last words that I'm gonna say right now. But we have not been having trouble to find our white sources, which is good. But yeah, that might change, and that's the kind of thing that I usually just say, and then I automatically get punished for it. Oh well, we'll see. All right. This hand is glacial. This hand is absolutely glacial. The fact that I have a Cabrera Crossroads kind of makes me want to keep it, but this might very well be a mulligan. So I can turn 1 Crossroads, turn 2 Simic, bounce Crossroads, turn 3 Explore. If I draw an untap land, hopefully Azusa, and we already have a threat in hand. So maybe it's okay. We'll see. We will see. We're playing against my opponent who's currently 3-1. My opponent was like, what the no Death Shadow, please. If it's Jund, it's fine, but Death Shadow is a beating. I mean, that could be either or. Could be either or. Hopefully it is the black-green deck. I love the black-green deck. I just wish it were better. Just like classic, old school, good old rock deck. So great. Our hand continues developing. Oh, they were just on John. Oh, that's cool. It's not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. It's important to know that we don't have a second green source yet. So that's not great. Not great. I guess this T-West can transmute. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm actually gonna pitch this back here, because I need exactly the lands that I have in play. The lands that I have in hand. It's not a bad one. What I think I want to do here is I can play this. I mean, let's start here. Let's start here and use green and blue and the white. That's way better than what I was planning on doing. So then I just do this, Crossroads, and replay. Sweet. And I think I'm gonna be pitching this Ghost Quarter to this Liliana right now. That's fine. My opponent having double basics is probably not good news for me. Whenever any opponent has like a bunch of basics in play, alarms start going off in my head. No other discard spell is awesome. Prime time. Let's get some Kalni action over there. Terminator response, classic. Classic removal spell in response to the Red Mutant and trigger. Good times, good times. Alright, so my opponent has instant, sorcery, and land, and I have land, sorcery, instant, and creature. So bogging myself, it's definitely not out of the question. I think I want to be doing this. Colony plus Garrison, maybe? And then I can replay the colony. Do you have another dude? And I'm gonna be discarding this Sun Home to the Liliana Plus. Can also Explosives on 3, one of my options. Explosives on 2 seems not particularly relevant currently. This guy is not gonna win the game. Kinda cool that my opponent cannot Inquisition this Tulare West away. So even if they have like double discard spell, I'm still covered. Because I have 2 lands. Next turn we got 1, 2, 3 transmute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 play prime time. Inquisition resolves. Explosives down. So I guess they might get to ultimate. They might get to ultimate. Let's see what else is in their hand. Alternatively, I can transmute for Ballista if I'm interested in dealing with this Liliana. But my opponent not doing anything suggests to me that they have another. Yeah, this is just awesome. This is just awesome. So I get to transmute, and I actually get to make Blue Pact good, which is not something that happens often. I get to make my opponent's Blue Pact, my own Blue Pact, a good card. Just casually drawing the best possible card. This is awesome. My opponent might be not having a great time right now. Yep. So here I want to get another blue source and probably Slayer's Stronghold or another Teleria. Probably a Stronghold. Bounce the second Teleria. And pass the turn. I think I want to save the Sam Home to pitch to whatever. To Liliana. Okay, this is actually super interesting. Do I want to let my opponent kill? Nah, I already have the Pact of Negation in hand. Let's do this correctly. Just gonna pay 5 on my upkeep. My opponent's gonna plus. I'm gonna discard the Sun Home. Yeah, they just concede. It just doesn't matter at that point. I want Queen. I want Tracker. I probably want Path. I probably want Rest in Peace. Definitely want Explosives. Bye-bye Pact. Bye-bye Amulets. We can shade 1 Pact. Actually, I might be interested in this right here. Probably take off one Asusa and So here against Jund, Tribe Scout, it's of course pretty bad, but I think it's probably gonna be better than Amulet. And just taking out amulets, I just don't like taking out a little bit of everything, right? If I'm taking out amulets and Azusa, then I probably do not want to also be taking out scouts. I probably like Azusa better than Scout though, so we can do that. And I'm just not really sure about these wraths, honestly. Maybe just the one to see how it goes. Foil ugly wrath. Definitely one trackers. Explorer this is like the matchup where Explorer truly shines. Whenever I side out amulets, siding out lands as well, it's not a great proposition. Especially I'm expecting my opponent to have Damping Spheres and Fulminator Mages. Let's go with this. Sure. As middle of the road as it gets. That's how I like my hands against Jund. Turn 1 Teleria. If they don't Inquisition away my Explore, I get to turn 2 Explore. Get ahead on mana that way. I'm gonna try to delay playing the Simic-Growth for as long as I can. Bob? No, Goif. Goif is fine. That's a good one. That is a good one. I definitely want to explore here though. That's also a good one. Just ramping hard over here. If they play another threat, I might just go ahead and Wrath. Just take my 2 for 2, I guess. Especially if it's a Bob. Womp womp. Now the jig is up. Jig is up. Jig is up. Scout is actually kind of valuable here though. Scout is kind of valuable. Take 2. Not a bad one. Get another Simic. This is kind of nice because it allows me to keep further developing my mana while also have access to transmute on my following turn and playing around Fulminator with Scout. So those are all good things. All good things. Still taking the 2, brother. Still taking the 2. Still taking the 2. Now what? Thoughtseize. Go ahead. No more Wrath. Sounds good. Another Goif. Alright. Question here. How much do I play around Fulminator? I mean, I want to transmute anyway, so I can't really play around Fulminator. Might as well do this here. Titan? That's okay. Transmute. Actually, I can Explosives on 2. That sounds very, very strong here. Explosives on 2 sounds quite strong here. Actually, no. There we go. I want to do this right now. No! Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. Woof. 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 This way I can play around like whatever my opponent can have, like some stupid thing. At this point, Fulminator doesn't really do anything. Because I just have a bunch of mana. My opponent's got no clock, so they need to develop their clock, and they also need to deal with my stuff. That's a scavenging news. You got it. Whew. 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. Gasolina. 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 Alright, I get to... Oh, this isn't response to the clue. Unfortunate. I could sack a canopy, but it's just... I'm not really sure I want to be doing that. Because this can actually kill the ooze if I want to. Do I want to kill the ooze? I actually might want to draw a card instead. Yes. Man, this is a thing of beauty right here. I think I want to... Yeah, there's more dudes in their yard, so I'm gonna kill their dudes. Man, almost. Almost. Probably gonna bounce the gemstone here. And pass the turn. Got a couple of clues for our trouble. Now my opponent cannot do anything if they want to grow the ooze. Yep, so they just spend their turn growing the ooze. Up to a 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can still make a bigger ballista anyway. There's no more dudes, I don't think. Ballista for 5. Your turn. The casual 10 mana ballista. No big deal. No big deal. Just giving up their ooze? I mean, I'm definitely trading here. Leave them with no board whatsoever. This sounds pretty good for me. I guess they can bolt it now. That's fine though. I mean, at this point you gotta bolt it. But it's just like I'm very happy to like trade ballista 2 for 1 because this dies to Kolaghan's command. They probably brought in Ancient Grudges, which also kill the ballista. So if I can get trade 2 for 1 for my ballista 2 for 1 for their stuff, I'm actually super happy about it. That makes no sense whatsoever. But sure. Now their ooze is gonna be small. Feels good, man. Feels good. That should be more than enough mana. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go get my stronghold. Go get Boros Garrison. I think it's the best one here. This game is over. Land for turn. Haste. Red. Let's deal a bunch of damage to you. I think I probably want to get a Simic Growth here. Yep. So we got Liliana Protection with this Scout. We got another Titan coming up next turn with this Tolaria West. Yep, that's it. Alright. White Amulet. White Amulet. Doing stuff, doing things. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, we're up to 155 followers. Where is it? There we go. 155. Alright. So there's one question that I wanted to ask for, you know, whoever's watching right now. I was thinking about doing streams with music. Okay? I think that you know, music makes streams way more watchable. It makes them way more fun. Now, the downside is that you know, when you have music, it's impossible to upload to YouTube. So the stuff that I do, you know, where I just upload every single one of my streams, could not be possible. Okay, so what I was thinking of doing is do like every other stream, you know, sometimes to do music streams, sometimes do by the way, this hand looks good enough. Sometimes do music streams, sometimes do you know, just silent streams, I guess, with me just talking, and those are going to be the ones that I'm going to upload to YouTube, versus the other ones which will just not be uploaded to YouTube. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts and how do you guys feel. This kind of smells like Storm. They did one bottom, one top, by the way. So I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Okay, so it's not Storm. This is blue-white. So I can put... They again did bottom top. I can put both of us back a land drop by forcing the issue, but so it's going to ghost quarter me in response to the trigger, so I won't get up to 3 mana. So I can either put us both back a land drop, or I can just play my land and move on with my life. I think I'm gonna do the second one. Also, I'm playing against a control deck, so I need to stop taking my time to make my plays. I need to just make my plays. Surge is annoying. Rex Sage would be an amazing draw. Rex Sage. Asusa is pretty damn good too. Ghost Quarter here. Yes. Bounce this. And play this. Now they're behind the land drop. We're very happy. Next turn we have a prime time coming up. Or I could just cast the tracker, depending on what my opponent has going on over there. Field of Ruin. Well, that one makes me want to tracker here. Actually, I'm gonna do it like this. Cast tracker. My opponent's gonna be forced to do something. They can counter this if they want. They can also not counter it. But I'm gonna play my Celestial Sanctuary. My opponent will probably do their thing in response, and I can go squatter myself in order to put them behind the land drop, which seems like a very reasonable play actually. So that will lead me down to so that takes me back 2 land drops, but it takes my opponent down 1. I think this is worth it actually. Now the Field of Ruin fizzles, so they just don't do anything. Bounce Forest. I'm gonna draw right now, because if I draw another land I can actually play it. That's an Amulet. So I just basically strip mine my opponent. That other one is pretty rough though. This is very aggressive, but sure. I guess they have a path for my tracker. Got a token. So if I found a bounce land, I basically win. Bounce land, please. Nope. They have a path for the tracker. Ugh. They just have it all. They just have it all. So any ETB tap land gives me prime time next turn. And any bounce land straight out wins the game. Let's draw a couple lands. That's a pretty good one. So here I think I'm going to copy a Ascanta. Float blue. Float green. Yeah, I'm just gonna save this Cavern of Souls here. My opponent's gonna start getting away though. Found the cavern. Yeah, but this is the issue now, right? My opponent's gonna start getting ahead of cards. Getting ahead on cards, not off cards. Detention Sphere. Sure. Bye bye amulets. The good thing is Primetime is angry. So I can Bojuka Bog to make my opponent's draws bad. And I can probably do this. I already have multiple primetimes in hand, so I'm not really concerned about this. I'm gonna bounce the cavern to protect it from other Field of Ruins. And I cannot haste here, so... So now they will need to tap out to deal with this. Think twice, sure. Now they will need to tap out to deal with the primetime, and next turn we primetime them again. One of their cards is a dead draw. Amulet of Vigor resolves. Okay, just gonna swing with this guy. Okay. Swing for with this girl then. Okay. Giant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. I'm gonna get. Actually, I'm gonna get Simic Growth. Simic Growth. This allows me to start getting Ascanta activations. and allows me to get the gemstone mine and protect the cavern. Go. Alright, EOT, activate Ascanta. Gasoline. Okay. Transmute. What you got, opponents? So their hand is still search for Ascanta plus 4 unknowns. Gonna get Pact of Negation. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can. Let's do this. Alright, just concede. Sounds good to me. We won Dromoka, we won Tracker. We just saw how awesome Tracker was that game. Drew me a bunch of cards, got me super far ahead. And I'm actually going to go to the bathroom and I'll be right back before we get into sideboarding. Alright, I want all my prime times. I want Dromoka, I want Ballista as a one-off, I can side out one Azusa. We can side out one Amulet, not more than that. We can side out Kalni Garden. All the other lands are relevant. Probably side out single steering. Strive Scout is excellent in this matchup. Rex Sage is particularly good post board. It deals with both spheres, damping and detention sphere, and it deals with Ascanta. So Rex Sage is one of the silent MVPs of the control matchup. Oh, this hand. This hand is so sad. This hand is better, but drawing our basic forests is usually really, really bad. We're definitely keeping that one on top, that's for sure. Definitely keeping that one on top. Play forest, go. I'm gonna be protecting this one. Because they kept the card on top. Yeah, put a card on top. This is awkward. Like, I want to protect both of these. I think I want to protect the cavern more than I want to protect the stronghold. That's a prime time. So we are a single thing away, a single bounce land away from casting this. Gideon of the Trials. Holy crap, this is a blast from the past right here, that's what that is. It would have been really nice to have like a spell pierce or something like that. Gideon of the Trials. Dang, I had not seen anybody play Gideon in quite a while. That was our worst bounce land. The good thing about having drawn this bounce land is that it might divert my opponent from killing my stronghold and might be killing my garrison instead. So that part is good for us. I just wish I had drawn either a scout or an Azusa, because pacting for them doesn't seem great when we just literally die to a cryptic command. Not very interested in dying to cryptic command. Spell Pierce next turn would be the absolute nutter butters. Nutter butters. Well, to be fair, like, Cryptic bounce my garrison, it's kind of a beating too. Yeah, I'm definitely playing the basic forest here. Please do not Cryptic bounce my garrison, please do not Cryptic bounce my garrison. At least I don't need to discard, so that part is good. That's Cryptic bounce my garrison. I am a very sad panda right now. Field of Ruin, sure. So at least at this point I'm kind of entering desperation mode. I am extremely far behind. Think twice, sure. Dispel, sure. Summoner's Fact. Azusa. Human. So now that I drew the Simic Growth, I can actually survive like Cryptic plus Field of Ruin plus shenanigans. Ooh, my opponent allowed me to bounce this. So now I have 3 green sources, which is of course much better for me. No path EOT, good for me. Uh-oh. I'm definitely taking 4 here. Not a question. Alright, we untapped. It's not a bad draw, human. Tracker. Field of Ruin the Cavern, sure. Play this. Yeah. Bounce. Replay. Now we get a couple of clues. We can swing at Gideon. Because even if my opponent... I mean, I'm not blocking this, right? So... Next turn I can kill the Gideon even with the Azusa because I can stronghold it. Flashback, think twice. Sure. Supreme Verdict. Sounds good. Right, end of turn. Do this. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have access to 9 mana. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. So I can prime time. I kind of feel like I want to Ballista for 2 though. I mean, I'm going to prime time, I think, because if this happens to resolve, it allows me to Ballista. Yes. My opponent has no... Okay, so I get cover at Crossroads and I'll get Simic Growth Chamber. This takes a turn of the Gideon clock. White. Bounce this. Play my land. Play Ballista on 2. This plays into a counter spell. Sweet. Actually, I want to kill this Gideon right now that I think of it. Because otherwise it will untap and make my Titan very sad. So I'll just trade 1 for 1, Ballista with Gideon. Then move on with my life. Path to Exile. They drew that, because otherwise they would have pathed on my turn. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Guess I packed for a Dromoka. Just feels pretty bad though. I mean, I'm gonna swing for 7, but that's gonna be it. Oh, they just have the negate. Alright. Sure. Let's swing for 4. Maybe I should have cracked the clue first. No. Swing for 4, I guess. To be fair, this would be probably an Azusa. So it's not like Rexage is bad here, it's like every card that we could have here would be bad. So I'm not as sad. Sure. They used the path on a Rexage. That's a win for us, I guess. Let's draw something. Dromoka would be nice. That is almost something. At this point I can only transmute for Blue Pact. I'm out of Pacts and I'm out of Ballistas. So we're just transmuting for Blue Pact. Not saying that's bad though. 1-1, dude. Go. You've got it. Go do your duty. Swing for 3. No, not the most impressive clock I've ever seen. Not the most impressive clock I've ever seen, but I mean it's better than a 0-turn clock. An infinite turn clock, I guess. 3. Condemn. Yeah, you can definitely condemn that. That's fine. Alright, let's draw a threat. Threat! Almost. I'm gonna hold this, because if I draw a tireless tracker, I definitely want to be doing some land playing. The good thing is that we actually do have an answer for whatever their first threat is, so we can answer their first Teferi or whatever. Threat! This definitely qualifies. Certainly qualifies. Actually, I want to have the white mana up, because I can swing for lethal. Here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And here, I don't think I have anything left to go get with Tulare West, so I'm just gonna go for broke. Get Sunhome and Celestial Sanctuary. Bounce Sunhome. Play Sunhome for turn. Haste Primetime. And if they have 2 ways to deal with this, then we are in trouble. But if they only have a single one, then this pact should be able to deal with it. Please don't have another way to deal with this. Got there! Got there! Well, 4-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently 4-0. Currently 4-0. Solemnity. Explain yourself. Why Solemnity? This is the one that you can get counters and stuff like that, right? Players can get counters can be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. So it blanks our gemstone mines. And what else? What else does it do? I guess it blanks infect. You can't hear anything, or you can, or is the audio not good, or you're just. I'll spell it, because if you can't hear anything. Alright. Cool. Alright, we're playing for the 5-0. This is a very slow hand that doesn't really go anywhere. On the blind, in the blind, I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand is way better. Yep, we're gonna need that, so we're gonna top that. All right. My opponent gave me the good luck. I appreciate that. Okay, so this turn we're gonna explore. Make it up to 3 mana. They put a card on the bottom and one on top. This is rough. Drawing another bounce land is not awful, I guess. So next turn I can Azusa plus Steerings and die. So start with Steerings. Wow, that was bad. That was real bad. So hopefully they remand me here and they do not gifts. Gifts would be very, very bad. Yep. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. So, what to do? What to do? I guess I just try to get the most possible mana going on. So next turn I can haste the prime time, which I should be able to, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I should be able to haste the prime time next turn. Yeah, that's definitely an EOT gifts. I mean, I'm playing Rest in Peace and Stony, so not being able to tutor is not really a thing. It just feels like even if we play that card, we might lose against some of these decks anyway. And 3 mana. So I can kill both dudes. Actually, I think what I do here is I give them both dorks and I ditch the Past in Flames and the Noxious Rebel. So ditching both dorks means that they don't get a draw step, but they will have a Past in Flames and probably like a bunch of rituals in hand. So this is very interesting. So they would need at least 2 rituals / metamorphosis in hand. If they do have 2 rituals / metamorphosis in hand, okay, they're going to play Baral or Golden Electromancer, and they're gonna go off anyway. So I think this at least takes a draw step off them. So it's less bad. So they are gonna Noxious Rebel on their upkeep, so it adds to their storm count. And then take it from there. Yeah, I think we're dead here. Yep. So they draw Baral. Play Baral. And now they go off. And at this point, it's pretty much deterministic, right? It feels deterministic. I mean, I guess they can whiff. Yeah, I think I'm dead here. $11. They just flash back to Past in Flames. 14. Yeah, there's no way they don't get there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. They have enough in the yard. They don't even need to draw anything. Alright, we died. Is that 20? Yes, that's 20. You got me. Pierces. Path. Rest in peace. Explosives as a one-off is fine. Tracker out. They seem to be on the... They seem to be on the... on the non Blood Moon list. So I'm not gonna side in Rex Sages. Bog is excellent. Ghost Quarter comes out. On Explore. Amulets, stay in. Pact, stay in. Yeah, not having Rurik is kind of a beating here. We had Rest in Peace and we had Interaction in the form of Path to Exile. But Rurik is gonna be very missed here. Kinda sucks that that we ended up, you know, getting paired against the one matchup that got significantly worse with the White Splash playing for the 4 or for the 5-0. But well, it is the way it happens sometimes. Probably want to do this. Dromoka just doesn't feel like it's worth it. We're just gonna need to prime time my opponents. Hopefully Rest in Peace is disruptive enough. This hand is pretty good though. This hand is pretty good. We got ramp, we got interaction for the spells, and we got interaction for their dudes. This is the hand we're looking for. This is precisely the type of hand we're looking for. The best possible thing we can draw would probably be an Amulet. My opponent also moved to 5. Amulet would be the absolute best possible draw. Another bounce land, it's not awful. So this will be a turn 4 prime time with Spell Pierce backup or Path to Exile backup. Whatever we deem necessary. Pyromancer Ascension. That is fine, I think. Alright. Flash this in. 1, 2. Yeah, I want to have the gemstone in hand. So, Pact. Primeval Titan. So I can flash in if my opponent tries to remand this. Gonna pierce it. So now prime time resolves, and now we get to do some stuff. Good evening, Easy Toss. How's it going? I already have a Tolari West in hand, so I can transmute for Pact and on my next turn. So I guess I just want to maximize the amount of sources that I get. Again, I'm not playing around Blood Moon. If my opponent has Blood Moon, they got me. Okay, so they have this turn to win with 4 cards. Good for me. Alright, play land number 1, transmute, for Pact of Negation, swing, and now I'm going to have, we're doing pretty good, we're currently 4-0, playing against Storm for the 5-0. So this is definitely an interesting... Well, if you look at the deck list command, I don't know if you are... hopefully the other thing is also working. I mean the Stream Decker is working. I don't know whether that's the case or not. But hopefully it is. And you will see how it works. We're basically playing a heavy white version of Amulet right now. These gifts is not lethal, so I'm definitely gonna let it resolve. And next turn I'm gonna be transmuting for explosives on 2. So yeah, we're trying something new today. This is based off of the list that Daryl Ayers was playing at one time. And he was, I think he 5-0'd once with it. And I thought it looked pretty sweet, so I wanted to give it a shot. And this is my own take on it. I like the idea. It's the much heavier white splash. Alright, you're still base green-blue, but it's a much... yeah, this is like the current league record. Okay, free man, that's absolutely nothing. But neither does Electromancer. So I'm gonna ditch these 2. Oh no, they have 2 dorks. Baral, so they begin. Respond to this, I will pass. Baral down. Sweet. Okay, Desperate Ritual resolves. Remember, we still have Bojuke Bog going on here. So we're always down. Now I assume they're gonna go for Gobo. Gobo is in the house. Still have another path for that one. Sick. Alright. This should be game right here. Yes. Cell Pierce is not gonna be great this game, but yep, he's very dead. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, explosives on 2 should finish the game here. That's what I'm gonna do. So Celestial Sanctuary plus Stellaria, bounce Stellaria. You take 6. Transmute. Engineered explosives. Green, white. Done. Blow everything up. And we still have Bojuke Bog at instant speed. This game is over. So all it needs is we drawing the absolute nuts My opponent mulligan into 5, and then we can win. Sounds good. Sounds doable. Bojuka Bog. Get all that stuff out of here. And now I'm gonna go for lethal. Sunhome plus Celestia. Very smart play on my opponent's side. Very smart play. Okay. So because of that, I'm gonna bounce the Bojuka Bug now. I mean, they're still not dead, but I don't think they can win anyway. Have 3 pieces of interaction in hand, and my opponent is at 2. Manamorphose resolves. Last one. Last one for the 5-0. That's... Thus, my opponent playing Pyromancer Ascension won't require me to play extra Rex Sage or an extra Engineered Explosives. Are you going into Easy Toss, into MTGO Easy Toss? That's great. Honestly, I do not. That's kind of like the beauty about MTGO. If you just own 4 copies of any card, you can have as many Amulet lists. As you can see, I I have quite a little variations in terms of Amulet list, but I just have 4 copies of every single card. So it's not like in paper where you need to be, you know, moving the card around every single time. If you want to try it in a different deck, or if you want to change the shell or whatever. In Magic Online, you just have all of your collection in one place, and you don't need to be, you know, moving around the cards if you want to use the same cards in different decks. So that's one of the beautiful things about Magic Online. But yeah, I very much recommend you try it out in Magic Online, because it's just truly a great tool to learn. It really is. Being able to just like play matches at any point, at any time. Oh yeah, no, I never open chests. I just sell them. It's actually quite bad EV to open the chests. Is there any way I want the second explosives instead of this? That seems too narrow. Alright, focus to the max. We don't need to be that focused in order to mulligan this hand. Too bad, because this has everything we want, but it doesn't have lands. We cannot need lands. This hand is going to be a keep. My opponent mulled to 6. So I am going to try to find... that's a card that I might keep on top. Amulet. Alright, this is coming together, boys. This is coming together. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Serum Visions also resolves. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, honestly, Easy Toss. being a musician, and you know, it means that I am usually busy on the weekends, which is when most Magic tournaments happen. So being able to play Magic online has helped my game tremendously, just because I'm able to play, you know, at different times. Okay, how do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I think I can just develop my mana here. So I can do this and do this. Untap. This and this. Bold Yasusa, yeah, Bold Resolves. This is good for me. This is really good for me, actually. I'm still holding up Pierce for whatever my opponent could have. And I still get to prime time next turn. Transmute. For Summoner's Pact. Play land pass. We might actually get there. We might actually get there. My opponent kind of needs to go for something now. Sure. Alright, Electromancer hits play. I think KCI is better, but I'm not sure. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Let's think this through, because I want to make sure I don't make any mistakes. So, I cast Summoner's Pact. That's going to be step 0, basically. Cast Summoner's Pact. I go fetch a Titan. We have 15 minutes to make sure that we are making the most optimal play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I tap all my mana. Cast Summoner's Pact, still have my land drop left. I go ahead and I haste the Primetime, bouncing the Tolaria West. I haste Primeval Titan, I have Tolaria West in hand and a land drop left. I attack with Primeval Titan. I go get another Tolaria West plus Simic Growth Chamber. They untap. I am able to transmute for a blue pact. I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, so I'm going to be able to pay for both pacts on my next turn. And I am also going to be able to play one land for turn, so I can actually do everything that I want and hold up Spell Pierce as well. Okay. So start here. My opponent is a cool guy. He says hello. They say hello. Okay, so step number 1. Is there any way I can also bog my opponent? So with the attack trigger, I can go get... No. There's no way I can bog them. Unless I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hold this 2 mana up. Actually, that's better, I think. If I play Sanctuary, I can bounce this, whatever. No, no, that doesn't work because I need to still have Tolera West here. So I can... If I do this though, and I leave Semi-Growth untapped, then with the attack trigger I can go get... Oh yeah, so that's better actually. Yeah, so I can actually do everything. So I am going to play this, untap. I'm gonna tap everything like this, and bounce Doleria. Okay, I cast Primetime. I do the whole hasty thing. Haste. Bounce my Stronghold. And now with the attack trigger... Oh no, because I will still need double blue. Never mind. I will still need that double blue. So I can either bog them or I can pierce them. I think pierce is gonna be more valuable. So I am going to pierce them. That means I need to hold up, I need to get Tolera West and a Gemstone Mine, I think. Or I could do also double Gemstone. I guess I'd rather have Tolera West in hand. But we're doing double Gemstone here, okay. So opponent takes 8. Second main. Transmute. For blue pact. Go. Alright. Pierce that. So I pay 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. So I only have 2 lands untapped. So if I play land for turn. So I play land for turn. And I'm only gonna have enough mana to Sun Home once. But I'm gonna force my opponent to chump with their Electromancer. So I cannot kill my opponent next turn, but I can force the chump. And I can bog them. If they have land and another ritual, they got me. But this is it. That's all I got. That's all I got. If they shock me here, they need to kill my Titan or kill me. They don't shock. Sweet. Alright. So we pay for Blue Pact first. 1. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. Yes. We pay for Summoner Spect. Okay. And we draw a bad card. So if I go get Bog plus Vesuva, or I guess another Celestia Sanctuary, I can do this. Is there anything else that I can do? I guess I can go... I might as well deal the most amount of damage and go get a Kabira like prevent the most amount of damage and go get a Kabira Crossroads. I'm for sure getting Bog. And I guess the other one is gonna be Crossroads. No, actually I'm gonna get this instead because I want to be... I'm gonna get Celestian Sanctuary. Yep. So I can transmute next turn. Bog you. Untap and tap. In case my opponent happens to like deal with my prime time somehow, I can prime time again next turn. So they have a forced jump. Red, white, and 1. Alright. Do your worst, opponent. Do your worst. So this prime time is lethal. So what I'm gonna do is transmute for another one and force my opponent to have interaction for both prime times. Oh, actually I can do... No, never mind. I cannot do what I was thinking I was gonna do. Primeval Titan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Got there. We got there. Alright. That felt great. To be fair, every single match that we play, just like regular primetime list, would have been about the same thing. We beat Storm, Jund, Blue-White Control, Burn, and what was this? Forgot the very first match. I'm totally blanking on what I played against. Oh, that's right, Bant Spirits. This was actually a great match. The Bant Spirits match was my favorite. It was really very cool, very interactive and stuff. It was really good. So Path was pretty good against Storm. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good against Storm. We were able to like hold up just a single white mana and Spell Pierce, both cards off of a single gemstone mine. That was pretty dope. Instead of, you know, a Braid that takes that would have taken two mana. So that was pretty sweet. Rest in Peace was not cast. Stony Silence was just not brought in any of the matches that we play. Wrath and Day of Judgment were both brought in, and they were both reasonably good. Dromoka did absolutely nothing. Hornet Queen was the MVP, not close against this in the Spirit matchup. It just won the game by herself. So Hornet Queen is still the nuts. And against Storm, we honestly just got a little bit lucky that he stumbled a little bit, and we were barely disruptive enough to kind of stop what they were doing. But not having Ruric Thar in our sideboard definitely makes the Storm matchup much worse. No questions there. Still, it worked out. It was really nice, and the list was pretty smooth. I was a little bit worried that I would need to do something in order to fit some extra white sources, but the amount of white sources felt okay. Like the fact that Caveira Crossroads means that now basically Radiant Fountain turns into a white source was actually pretty nice, and it came up in multiple occasions where I fetched Caveira Crossroads to do something else. I even fetched this against Burn so I could gain life. I unhaze my primetime off the same land with an Amulet in play. It was pretty nice. And Canopy was... I think I cycled it once against Jund. And I guess it was actually pretty sweet when I did that, because I cycled it in response to my opponent killing my tracker. And I used my scout to play an extra land, which drew me an extra card from the tracker. So that was pretty sweet. So besides that, I don't think there's anything else that I want to add. The only thing that I might want to try is something like this. I think explosive stock is right now at an all-time high, and I would not be surprised if just playing 2 main deck explosives, it's simply the way to go. I think explosives is excellent against the Hardened Scales deck. Is excellent against. I mean, nobody plays Affinity anymore, but Affinity. Against the decks that we played today, it's excellent against Bant Spirit. It's excellent against. It's passable against Burn. It's excellent against Jund. Is excellent against. It was even great against Storm, right? I transmuted for an explosives and blew up an explosives on 2 to deal with both their Pyromancer Ascension and their Mana Dork. So we dealt with 2 different kind of permanent just off a single card. It was really excellent. I think explosives it's really great right now. I would lie to you if I didn't tell you that, you know, I have cast explosives on 4 and 5 in order to keep to kill Teferi or Jace against blue-white control. That's definitely a thing that I've done more than once. So maybe this should be the way to go. Honestly, I have like a very unhealthy love affair with Tireless Trucker, so that's why she's there. So so yeah. If you guys have any questions, by all means, send them my way. I am pretty active on the Discord, the Amulet Discord, so if you have any questions, you can definitely ask them there. Besides that, if you have not hit the follow button yet, please do so. You can get notified whenever I go live, and then, you know, it's pretty good. It helps support me, and it costs you absolutely nothing. If you are like, you know, like my good friend, man, who was it today? I think it was, oh, Scurtis. It was Scurtis. I can't find it, but I think I remember it was Scurtis. Yes, it was actually Scurtis, which subscribed, because now I am an affiliate, and you can subscribe to the channel. You can get your primetime emote, and it of course helps me support the channel. Of course, if you want to see any kind of deck being played on stream, you can of course donate, and I will play your deck on stream. We can play through a league. We can, you know, talk about it afterwards. We can even talk about it during. And I will. The only thing that I require is that you pay the entry fee. So if you want to donate $12 at least, that should cover the entry fee. And if I own the cards, we can make it happen. But yes, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch again. And hope you enjoyed this stream. Well, have a great rest of the day. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.